Welcome back to Student Hub Live. Well, this is the last of our live sessions for a little bit of time, but it's a very, very important one because I am going to introduce you to some of our wonderful colleagues from the Open University Students Association. I am joined by the president, Sarah Jones, who has just finished her degree in primary education and has started a master's in education, and Matt Porterfield, who is the vice president administration, who has completed his first degree in law and is now doing a master's in France. So living proof that one can complete and thrive and survive. Thank you both for joining us. How are you today?
Hi, yeah, good, thank you, yeah. How are you?
Good.
Fine here, fine.
Yes, good, I'm fine, but the dogs are being a little bit challenging today, but they've actually done really well, to be completely honest. Well, they're not normally this well behaved and quiet. Anyway, they're sitting behind me very nicely. So let's see. So the OU Students Association, I wonder if you can give people an idea about what it is, and we've got lots of new students here today. So what is it and why is it important?
Okay, so as an OU student, you're automatically a member of the Students Association, and we do a lot of different things, lots of different community things, and I think the biggest thing for me to be part of the Students Association is to feel that sense of community, because as a distance learner, that's something that can be really challenging because you can feel very much on your own. And one of the jobs that we do is very much around building that sense of community. We have loads of different things that students can come along to that actually really help build that sense of community. We do lots of other things, including influencing at the university. So we do representation. So we have volunteer roles where students can sit on different committees, sit on different groups, and actually have a say in what goes on in the university. And that's really important to us, that we have a say in what goes on at the university, so that student voice is heard right at the very top levels of the university. And so, yeah, it's about increasing that that sense of community and having a voice within the university.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sarah. And we heard from Liz Marr this morning just how important that is to the university also. Matt, I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about some of the opportunities that there are for people to get involved in some of the areas that Sarah spoke about.
Yes, certainly we have a lot of opportunities for any student that wants to get involved in the Students' Association. As Sarah's just mentioned, we need student volunteers to sit in OU communities and give the students' view. It's what we call the student voice. There are various governance and academic committees and working groups, and all of them welcome contributions from their student representatives. I actually sit on my faculty's teaching committee and the Law Board of Studies with a couple of other students, and we're able to put our views forward in any proposals. For example, if we comment on a new or replacement model that's being suggested, which is topical in law because the route to becoming a solicitor is changing. So a whole new law module is being written for that. In addition to the representation, we're also looking for, as you talked about the community, we're also looking for student hosts who help build that sense of community amongst the student body, whether that's in your own faculty or school, or more socially by hosting chats with bingo sessions, quizzes, or perhaps hosting a chat for students in your particular location. Of course, before the COVID-19 restrictions, we used to have face-to-face meetups hosted by trained volunteers. The Students' Association supplies all the training, and I'm hoping that we can get back to that situation when it's safe. The last way you might want to get involved with this sense of community is to get some support yourself, or to join with like-minded students in a student community. There are various support services and volunteering roles, and you can find them all on our website, oustudents.com. It's got details of societies and clubs that you might be interested in. There's a tab on there that links a lot of the Support services, for instance, could be our peer support service, or Together All. That's a service that used to be called the Big White Wall. And we have 3 specialist societies. Plexus is now called OU Pride, and a society for our Black, Asian, minority ethnic students, and a society for our disabled students as well. And other interests, if you can't find a club that covers your interest, start one.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Matt. Gosh, lots and lots of information there as well. HJ, I wonder if we have any questions and how everyone is back at home.
Really well here at home. Patrina said, when I studied years ago, I chaired a central university committee as a student association representative, and she said it was really interesting, gave me skills I couldn't have gained elsewhere in my studies. So it just shows not only your studies are core to what you're learning, there's so many other opportunities out there to learn and do something different and help you progress and help others as well. And I know there's loads of great meetups as well. So we've been talking about the fact that there's local online meetups. I know there's a Wales meetup happening online this weekend. So I've posted the links in there, and I'm sure it's another great place for everyone to meet up and be part of their community.
Brilliant. That's wonderful. And we'll get the results of our widgets as well. We've asked whether you've visited the OU Students website or not, and what you've seen there. It's a really, really good place to visit, because if you do, there's all sorts of things there in addition to all of those opportunities, like being able to get your totem card, which we were talking about on Saturday, is one of the really, really brilliant things, because you get stuff like 10% off at the co-op of everything, which I love. And I love being able to show my card there when I'm doing that. But 80% of people have visited the website, so that's really, really good. They've already checked out what's there, and there's lots around. I know that you're doing for Freshers Week as well. Yes. Lots of them have found the forum. 54% have found the forum. So you might like to tell us a little bit about that, Sarah.
Okay, so there's lots of different forums actually. So if you go onto the website, you'll be able to find the links to the forums, and these are places that are safe for you to chat to other students. And it's a great place to meet other students, ask questions, have a nosy round. To be honest, that's exactly what I did when I joined the OU. I thought, yeah, I'm going to be that student, just sits behind my computer and just does whatever, my own work, don't talk to anybody. Then I started nosing around the main OU website, and I found the link through to the Students Association stuff and all their forums, and I began to chat to people, and it was really interesting to find other students who felt exactly the same as me, and I managed to find people who kind of encouraged me, who challenged me, who I've ended up being really good friends with, so it's a great place to find people. We also have various Facebook groups that are run by Students Association volunteers. Sorry, my child's just walked past. So yeah, it's a really great place to chat. Just sorry about that. Yeah, it's a really great place to chat with other students, and as you can see, I've got my family around me. There is an OU parents group that is really great to share the trials and tribulations of homeschooling with, so there's so much going on there. And then our Freshers events. We've already had 1 week of Freshers events. We've still got lots of events going on this week. On Saturday, I hosted the OU Students Association University Challenge. So we put a team forward for University Challenge every time, and they were having a practice. And there was a 2020 versus 2021 team, and then there was a 2021 team versus the staff team, and it was really exciting. So that was, we get to do some really fun stuff and get to meet some great people.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Patrina said that she met people 10 to 15 years ago through the association that she's still friends with now. So some really wonderful lifelong friendships there, which is fantastic. Now, you've mentioned the word community quite a lot, and this is a topic very close to my own heart. But I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about what community means in terms of the OU Students Association. How are you developing community with initiatives within the association, as distinct, I guess, from the university?
I guess
Yes,
some of what we're doing. Oh, I'm with you, Matt. Sorry.
Sorry, boss. Sarah's my boss. There are a lot of different ways that the Student Association can enhance that sense of community, because every student's need is different. There are, for instance, mentioned already, there are clubs, and Sarah's talked about some of the clubs, but to get the complete list, you just go onto our website and you'll see all the clubs there. As I mentioned briefly before, if there isn't a club there for your particular interest and you've got 5 other students who show an interest, you form your own club with the help from the Students' Association. Another sense of belonging that can be brought through there is from the societies. Now, societies tend to be a bit bigger than clubs, and they are run by students, but they're affiliated to the association, and they can get extra funding from the association if they need it. And lastly, as I mentioned before, certainly once we can get back to having face-to-face meetings, then hopefully we'll bring our link-up sessions from online to actually down to having meetings in your area. Again, a trained host will host those. And if you're interested, if there isn't one in your area, you're interested in forming one, why not form it now online and then get the training? And once we get back to normal as soon as possible, you can actually have face-to-face meetings.
If you could form a new club, Ray, what would it be?
Go for it. What club would you form, Matt? Go for it, Matt. What would you form?
I think I'd probably form a club that is along the lines of helping me with my studying. I'm studying finance at the moment. So it would be a club of real anoraks, real boring people who want to meet and talk about finance.
Oh, I bet it wouldn't be a boring club. HJ, what sorts of clubs do people at home form? If people at home, I know there are lots of people who are already involved with clubs and societies, but any top suggestions about things we might be interested in forming? There's also a chess club with only one person, which I always think is not very ideal, but perhaps they are the victor. And remain unchallenged.
I can see. I can see playing chess on your own or being on your own chess club can be a bit challenging. But I know a lot of us are loving our study spaces and loving sharing tips about how we set them up. So maybe we can have a club on the ideal study space. And there are just so many clubs, which is great because I know it's nice to have a little break of study and maybe just nerd out about something. So I know we're quite excited about the fact that there's a Doctor Who club and a stationery club. So we're amped up at that. But I posted the links in there, and there's so many other fellow students like us that just want to chill out, chat about something that's not to do with study, and just nerd out. So yeah, give it a go. Have a look at a club and join in. And there's loads to do and loads of different clubs for whatever you could be interested in.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at our nice Student Hub Live stationery here. So these are our little post-it notes and our little pens. I'm very proud of them. They probably don't really look very good on screen. They're magnificent in real life. But yes, lots and lots of clubs for everyone. And as you say, a good way to chill out and feel connected to people. Sarah, this connection is just so important, isn't it, to feel the sense of belonging and community? What are your thoughts on the matter, and what are you trying to do within the association to help students feel that they belong to something really important?
Yeah, I think that is really, really important, that sense of community, that sense of belonging. I mean, Matt actually is wearing an OU hoodie, and it's that makes you feel, you know, like you've got a sense of belonging. So go to our OU shop if you want one of those. But it is really, really important, you know, to feel like you're part of something bigger, that you do feel that there's something else out, some of the people out there feeling the same way that you're feeling. And, you know, putting on all the meetups that we put on. So at the beginning of the pandemic, we did increase the amount of online meetups that we did, so that people didn't feel alone, so that people didn't feel like they were going through this on their own. And, you know, we're now into a really good routine of the different meetups we have. So every Thursday there's a community meetup that you can just drop in, say hello, have a cup of tea, talk to other students. And on a Saturday the same things happen. And then as you know, as has been said already, there's ones that are regional, that are around the country that happen. And it just gives you that feeling that you're not on your own. You're part of a huge student population, but actually you're not on your own. You don't have to talk about study. You can talk about how you're feeling about homeschooling, how you're feeling about shielding from the pandemic, how you're feeling about how weird it is at the moment, or even what are you going to do when all of this finishes? You know, where are you going to go on holiday? What's the exciting things that you've got to look forward to? And again, some of what we do is kind of to try and encourage that good mental health within our students as well, just to keep them going, you know, give them something that actually cheers them up. Some students turn up every Thursday because it helps them with that sense of routine, you know. So a lot of what we do is about trying to build that sense of community amongst our students, and it's really important.
No, absolutely. Well, let me show you some studies pictures, because I think one of the ways that we like to feel part of community is looking at each other's study spaces. And I know it's really nice for people to be able to see into our own spaces and what's going along. So look at some of these very, very organised students we've got. This is a particular one. I think it's Garance, who is normally in Scotland, but is now in Oman. So this is a super organised space. So Garance says, I'm privileged enough to have a dedicated space. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so this could be a club as well. I'm sure there's a Star Wars club, isn't there? And a keen kendo practitioner, which is a Japanese martial art, like in Star Wars. So this is all reflected in this study space. There are other few knickknacks around to keep me smiling and inspire me. And Garant says, in my view, study space needs to be comfortable, practical, and comforting. Tomorrow the module opens. It's terrifying and fabulous all at once. So that is wonderful. And thank you so much for sending that through. So it's showing again how clubs can be so fundamental within things we're studying. Amy in Cheshire is doing a higher education certificate in arts and humanities. And this is a really lovely study space. This looks very comfortable and nourishing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's lovely. I really,
are you
like
more
that.
an Amy or a Garance, Sarah?
Amy.
You, Ray?
I've got
Matt. Sorry,
I've got an Amy. I'm definitely more Amy, I think. What about you, Matt?
I'm say not at home. I'm stuck up in Scotland because of the travel restrictions at the moment. So I'm a kitchen table person, and but normally I have a cupboard that's been converted into a study, and it's doesn't look as elegant as any of the ones on screen.
Oh, we've got a really good cupboard. We've got a really good cupboard, actually. We've had whose cupboard was it? I think it was it Olivia's cupboard? That's absolutely brilliant. I will see if we can find that, because it is so super. Here it is. This is Olivia's cupboard. And we really, really think this is amazing. She can just close the door afterwards. So I think that is really in the lead for our most innovative or space or best use of a small space? Gosh, these categories are going to be tricky. Look at Danielle's. Danielle or Danny is hoping to join today. I hope you hear Danny with us. And this is a newly set up study space with a brand new laptop. This looks very, very nice and organised here. She can't wait to get studying. And we've got James in Tamworth. So Matt, this may be more like you. This is a work area and a coffee table. James is really interested in his laptop, which he purchased for the course specifically. So that's James from Tamworth. And the last one we can have is Medhavi in Ealing. This is also a very nice organised study space. Pre-made work study as I work from home with a 12-year-old and have full-on school lessons. Well, we very much sympathise with you with that. We'll show more study spaces a little bit later. So email us studenthub@open.ac.uk. I'm not sure who will win our fabulous stationery. We'll have to decide that later. Maybe Sarah, you can help me with some thoughts on the matter. So lots and lots of ways in which people can get involved in opportunities and things to do. Sarah, I wonder if we might just end with your big piece of advice for students as the president of the association. So many people are feeling a little bit nervous about starting. What would you say to them right now?
Definitely don't feel nervous. I get how that feels. At the start of each year, I felt exactly the same. But once you get stuck in, you're going to be fine. And biggest thing for me is I got to know my tutor. So make sure that you have that relationship with your tutor. Talk to your tutor, send them an email, say how you're feeling. Let them know. And then if you start to struggle, you'll know that you've got that relationship with them. And most of all, just enjoy it. Relax, enjoy, and just have a fantastic time studying. It's honestly the best thing I've done, absolutely by far. Well, apart from having my kids, obviously. It's been the best thing I've done, so really enjoy it.
What's that noise? What's that noise? Look, it's HJ. Who's in your office, HJ?
I've got a kitten here that's very, very aggressive with me. Now as soon as everyone knows people are watching her, she runs off. That's typical cats, isn't it? Oh dear, but at home we've just had such a lovely time with this session. It's been so positive and we're so excited to join our clubs and sort of be part of our OU community. So it's fantastic to hear about it. And a lot of people are saying these are such lovely study spaces. So they'll be getting their study spaces up to scratch, and send your pictures in because we want to see more to studenthub@open.ac.uk. And we've got winners of our categories. We'll get our fantastic OU stationery. So that's something to show off to the Students Association Stationery Club. But yeah, we're doing really well in the chat, and it's great that everyone's so happy and positive.
Yes, they're very, very limited edition items. Yes, great. Well, thank you so much, Matt and Sarah, for coming along and being so positive and showing us so many of the different ways that people get involved. So don't forget, if you're interested in the events that the association are running over the next week for freshers as well, do check in some of those meetups, etc. It's all on the website, so there's plenty in store for everybody. Right, we're going to have a little break. I think we need a little walk, don't we, darling? Yes, we do. So we're going to have a little walk. I know. Butter wouldn't mouth. She's destroyed half my desk underneath there. But anyway. So we're going to have a little break, and we've got some things that are coming up on the ticker tape that you can see later. But we're also going to show you one of our campus tours of the Jenny Lee building. And also, if like me, you are fascinated with the BBC's Perfect Planet, then there's a trailer of a behind the scenes show that the Open University are running as well that you might like to attend. So we're going to show you some videos. We'll be back very soon for some more entertainment this afternoon. The chat will need to be refreshed though. So we will, if you do come back and the stream's gone down, then just refresh and join the event again. But we'll see you for the next sessions. We're going to find out about how to work with your tutor. We've got a fabulous Wheel of Ologies quiz to end the day with. We're going to talk about yes, I know, the fabulous quiz is going to be brilliant. We're also going to talk more about social media, staying well and studying well, looking after your mental health. That'll be a brilliant session. And also studying with children, in particular young children and in pregnancy. So some really, really great sessions from my colleagues this afternoon. We'll be back live at 4 o'clock, and I'll see you hopefully then. Bye for now.